should read the comics.
The Ace is a crowdfunded comic book created by Edwin the Ace Acevedo, and I believe that this was his first comic ever created. The cover that I got was done by Donald DeLay and looks freaking cool. I love the blues on here. You got a Star Wars looking armored dude right here getting stabbed with a harpoon in the chest while getting chomped on by a giant humanoid shark warrior. It leaves you wanting to know what the heck is going on in this, so without further ado, let's get cracking. A young man named David was your average guy until he discovered an object that fell from the sky. Before he knew it, the spherical object blasted him with a beam of energy, equipping him with space armor and space weapons.
How about that?
With the space armor now a part of his very being, he would use it to beat the crap out of criminals in his city. 6 months later, an alien shark warrior named Akula splash landed on Earth, searching for the legendary space armor. After an intense battle, the young man came out on top, until someone unknown demanded they
stop it!
But who could it be?
Is it Bob Brady? Or Jimbo? Or the 1991 Denver Broncos?
Meanwhile, on some other planet in space, a different space warrior equipped with different space armor is on a mission to rescue a different alien shark warrior. Looks like we'll find out what they're up to in the sequel. At the very end of the book, there's a tiny brief story with an, I'm assuming, elvish family on some, I assume they're on a planet, where the whole family gets slaughtered by a Grim Reaper looking dude. I'm not sure if this story is connected to the rest of the story in the Ace, or if this is like just some separate story that's kind of being pitched at the very end of this. The epilogue was basically the other space warrior saving the other space shark, so I'm not sure exactly how that ties in. I am a comic noob when it comes to this sort of thing, if this is common or not, so I don't know. We'll see what happens in the Ace Volume 2, but speaking of which, let's get back to the Ace. Being the first volume at a little over 20 pages long, I believe that it hooks you just enough to want to see what happens next. The story is very simple, which is a good route for the first run. David getting his powers feels like Spider-Man and Blue Beetle, so in a way this could be familiar ground for comic readers discovering the Ace.
I got a crash. Everything's fine.
Shazam!
I do wish there were more layers throughout the book. For example, the first couple of panels have David getting jumped by a mugger at knife point, then activating his space armor to take him down. He says the mugger hurt his friend's mother, so this may not have been some random attack, but it doesn't go any deeper, at least not yet. It doesn't play into the next part of the story, and it doesn't need to, because every hero has to start from somewhere, and they do often fight random thieves. They don't always have to be thematically tied into something. But personally, I would have preferred some type of tie-in, or that it causes something else to happen.
Thanks.
The way that David reveals himself to his mother makes sense, especially coming from a young man, yet at the same time, I'm a little mixed on it. Her reaction is great. It's like, who are you and what have you done with my son? And then he's just like, yeah, Mom, it's me. I love you. I can't explain, but you just lock yourself in your room, okay? I love you. And then she's a little concerned, pushes back, and she's like, all right, that's okay. Just be safe. Where I think it would have added a little more comedy and been a little bit better if the mom were to be as freaked out as she was, and she's like, I don't want you to be in any danger either, son. And then he just shoves her into a room, locks her in there, and then that's it. No, there's no time for explanation anyway. He's got to fight a giant alien shark. I think that would have been a little bit funnier.
You are in big trouble, Ike! What? Kyle, you open the door right now!
Mom, we are really sorry.
It's about time that we dealt with the shark in the room.
Hello?
This battle may be brief, but it expands the world while shedding light on a few things at the same time. We already know that the space armor comes from space, but now it's confirmed that there are aliens out there too, and this particular alien shark has been tracking down this armor. He looks cool, and the idea of a humanoid shark is cool, so good choice with that. During the fight, David, as well as the audience, learns the basics of the space armor, such as withstanding a laser beam, it can fly, and it allows him to breathe in space. We're not exactly sure why Akula wants the space armor so bad. Maybe he wants to wear it himself somehow, though I'm not sure how that would work. Maybe he wants to fight somebody with it and prove himself, to prove his warrior tenacity. Maybe he wants to keep the armor as a keepsake trophy or something. Maybe he wants to just keep it out of enemies' hands, or maybe he wants to sell it for a few bucks. Who knows? Could be anything. The space armor is clearly powerful if it can help some kid on Earth defeat an alien shark warrior from space. Overall, I think the story is fine, and it's a decent first chapter into a series. However, my main issue is with the art. When David is decked out in the armor, it looks cool. And like I said before, Akula is cool too, but there are quite a few ugly mugs and odd shapes throughout the panels. I'm no artist, but many of the visuals were just unappealing to me. There's not much more to say about that. I just don't like some of the visuals in this book. But my favorite looking panels are where the other space warrior stabs some guard in the head. That looks pretty cool. And when David and Akula are first clashing, I like the idea of the visuals there. I can see that playing out. I like that. I don't have much more to say about it, considering it was his first book and quite short. I am interested in seeing the progression throughout the rest of his books. I've already bought volume 2 and 3 to give him some support. I will be reviewing those sometime in the future. If you guys already read Ace Volume 1, let me know what you think about that in the comments, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your day.